don't know much about money, but I know that mother always, as far as I can remember, since our childhood, she was always short of money. Always. There was always a crunch with money, and I used to often hear, mother doesn't have money even to pay the servants, but we all had one servant each. One room, one person, one servant. That was the situation. I mean, she was always very generous with the children. I was in the boarding house. Believe me, even today I find it difficult to wash my clothes because I never had to do it in childhood. Even at home, your parents make you do sometime or the other. But in the boarding, we had the luxury of being looked after so well. Never went into the kitchen, never learned to cook, never learned to wash. We had servants for everything. And mother was always short of money, and yet she provided servants to everyone. All of us in the boarding house, we didn't really have to do anything. We went to school, came back and played. There was nothing else to do. I don't know much about economy and what it should be and what it should not. All these things I don't know. But I know that even when she was short of money, any new project came up, she gave whatever she had. There was a time when she sold her jewelry to get money. Another time when she sold her saris to get money. I mean, these things, even today you feel so bad that mother had to do that. But as soon as she left her body, from that year onwards, really there has never been a shortage in the ashram. She has provided for everything, enough money. Now the Pondicherry ashram has quite a lot of money in the banks and everything. But at least she never kept money. Whatever she had, she used. There was no account in the bank that the ashram has so much money. Until mother passed away, there was never any money. This is all that I can actually tell you.
You mentioned projects, for new projects. What kind of projects?
No, like the honesty tiles came up, then Udar started this honesty furniture shop, I don't know what it is called. Then Harpagon in a very, very big way. Golkund was built during those periods in mother's time. And so many houses were purchased and maintenance of the houses. Ayurvedic section came up. Whatever came up during 1950 to 58 when mother was coming outside. And until 1958, new departments came up. After mother retired, I don't know of any department that has started after that. We are just keeping mother's dreams alive, that's all. Auroville, of course, has come up in a very big way after 1950. But everything has happened in Auroville. In the ashram, there is no new department that has come up, not that I know. If you know Surabhi, you are there now.
I'm not sure, maybe Navavihan.
Navavihan is not an ashram department.
It is actually, it's standing on its own, but we...
No, it belongs to the society, Shovindu Society.
Mother Centenary Trust.
Eh?
It belongs to Mother Centenary Trust.
Mother's Centenary what?
Trust.
Trust.
Yes.
But that also belongs to the society. Yeah, I know.
But we actually...
The Shovindu Society has done a lot of work. But departments are very few. Navavihan is one. But right there they have done a lot of work outside. That is what they were meant for. And Auroville, of course, is grown so much and is still growing.
In school school, many things have grown. In school, we have lot of science projects encouraging the children, and on the cultural side also, lot of teachers who are teaching. So that way, it's
That was there
school-
even at that time. We had
Even-
some of the best teachers.
Yes.
There was Shahnadi, such a
Yes.
famous musician who was
Yes.
teaching artists. Krishna Lalji, Jayanti Lalda. That was there, it's
Jeevan
continuing.
Dada.
Now it's still continuing. It's good that it continues. Of course, materially things are coming in. At that time, mother didn't have money for the material things also. So I think that has answered your question.
Can we pull some more questions? You have something, Matilda?
Yes, I have a question because you just said that you never know how economics or how money went, but you did a lot of projects and you created a lot of things. So how did you do that?
You have to ask mother. Where she sent the money. I only know how to spend money. I don't know how to count. And the other day, I got a lakh of rupees from somewhere, ashram money. They gave me in 100 notes of 100, a lakh of rupees. Then I told Anju, I said, please count. And she counts like me with a bad thumb, you know. And then we had to call Subhash and he counted.
No, all I can say to add on is
Just to add on to this, whenever we have to start a new project through the Delhi ashram, Taradadi always says, don't bother about the money, just concentrate with sincerity on the project. So people who are doing the project, we don't concentrate. At least none of us have concentrated on where the money is going to come. She says, be sincere to the project. That's
The
the way
Delhi
we
ashram is run by a trust. And in the trust, I am not on the money side. So whatever I have to do, just now Anju is doing a project of 1.5 crores. And I can't sanction it. So it has to go to the trust, and the people who manage the money part, they tell me yes or no. And then it goes yes to Anju.
can I ask you, Taradidi? Because you said that everything. Yes.
We have a very good team, and the team looks after the money part. Not everybody is gifted to handle money, and I have never been able to handle money properly. Never.
No, because you said that as your children, everything was taken care of for you with servants and all this. When it came to Oroville, mother said no servants in Oroville.
Yes.
And still, of course, we ended up having servants because it was very difficult to do all the works at the same time, etc., whatever excuse we have. So our children also, at least that first generation, grew up very much having everything cared for on the physical level. And also with money, because we really didn't have much circulation of money, so they also grew up without the concept of money somehow. And they did some complaining about that they felt that they were not really equipped for life when they came out into the world. Could you say something about this? Because we always thought we did something wrong, and now I hear you telling that mother did, did like
No,
that
it's very
also.
difficult for me to tell you about money because I just went from one ashram to another.
Yeah.
And in Delhi ashram, I had my father to look after the money part. Then I had my eldest brother who was very good with handling of money. I know that I was handling money in the beginning in the ashram office when I used to sit. Every month I used to make a mess with the account. And then I would go and tell my brother, I don't know where 1,000 rupees is gone. Then he would give me 1,000 rupees and say, clear it in the ashram. He had his own business, so he was supporting the ashram, and so he would always give. So I never, but then for my personal use, he started making me keep account for every penny. He said, I'm giving you so much money, I want the account at the end of the month. That was to teach me. He never questioned why I use this or why I use that. But I had to give him account every month. So for some time I did that and then I just forgot to do it.
Yes, I have just a small question. Um, when I was in Ethiopia, I know that in Oroville money doesn't need it. They say that we don't use money circulation. Money circulation doesn't exist, no? So I was thinking maybe the mother say something like that. There is a way of dealing with instead of using money, other things. And so after I came, I see different. Did ever she say people they don't have to use money or what she did talk about that? Did
No, I really don't know much except whatever she said for Auroville. That's what I have read, that's all. About that there should be no circulation of money and all that. She said for Auroville. And that's what I have heard and or read. Personally, I have never talked to mother about this.
Sorry, I want to come back to the question that Jaya posed, which is about the servants. Because really, for Arwil, it is very important that we have no servants, that we are self-sufficient in all senses. And also for the personal growth, I feel that we must be able to wash our clothes and to prepare some food. From another point of view, on the fact of the type of work we are doing in Arwil, it's comfortable to have somebody to do this type of work and leave us time to do something else. But the concept of servants, that apart from the money matter, how was it considered in the ashram? Are we not all equal? And so somebody being the servant of even of a group of children, how does it fit
That
with
was
that?
there. That was as it is today. It's quite the same. You had servants and everything. I don't know. The time is coming when servants won't be available in India anymore. It is happening, like in the West. It's moving fast too. It's so difficult to find people. My elder sister, lives in Pondicherry. She's 85. She needs the servants, but she finds it so difficult to get people nowadays. Everywhere, even in Delhi, it has become extremely difficult to find servants. In the ashram, of course, it is easier for the simple reason that being an institution in Delhi, the rates are so high and we have to pay the government rates. You won't believe that the manual servants, sweepers, what you call, these two boys who are cleaning this place, in Delhi are being paid by law. We have to do it. We can't evade it. 25,000 rupees per month. So how long will the individuals can't pay that kind of money? Of course, it's not meant for. It is only these laws are for the institutions. So as an institution, we have to pay that much money. So it's getting more and more expensive, and people won't be able to afford anymore. And what did you say?
He said we get the job of a sweeper in Delhi ashram.
Come please. I need you. You may get boarding with it, but you won't get lodging with it. That you have to take outside. And Delhi is so expensive. Even one room place like that is 3,000 rupees and more. So these people, they have difficulties in managing in less money also. Times are changing everywhere. Times are changing and people are getting more literate and they want white-collar jobs. They don't want to do manual work. It's happening. It has happened in the West. Now it's happening in India. Slowly, everybody is looking for upgradation. They want to do other things. And we are all the time encouraging these people to learn other things and move on.
We are also paying for their children now to study further.
All the children are studying now. besides paying the 25,000 rupees to the workers, we are also educating their children free of cost. All the workers' children are being given their school fees and everything. The ashram is paying. So we are encouraging them to come up. And once they come up, they are not going to do a sweeper's job.
I also wanted to ask something about, because it was something I often wondered about, the relation when you had joined the ashram, and we have it with Orville also, the relation between private money and mother looking after you. Because I remember that I was very surprised when one person who was working for mother said, I never take any money from mother. I always take care of all my costs in the work. So I was thinking, but if they are in the ashram, then they will have given everything to mother, and how can they have anything of their own? So could you, because in
In the early years,
yes.
it was like that. People actually offered all their money, all their jewelry, everything when they joined the ashram. But I'm told that the change came after mother allowed children in the ashram. That is around end of 43, 44, when the school opened and children were there. Then things changed and people came with the children and they didn't offer the money, and mother also did not say anything because they needed money for their children to give them something or the other or whatever. So things gradually changed, and afterwards nobody gave money to the mother. Later in the years who joined, I think those who joined after 1950, people didn't offer everything they had. But also you must remember, people didn't have much. Today the same people who had nothing automatically have a lot, somehow or the other. Times have changed.
You mentioned a very beautiful insight about mother not keeping too much money hoarding, always letting the money flow.
Too much? No, not at all.
Yeah, and now when you see that, ashram has a lot of money, you think that brings in complacency because you think you have enough in the bank, and is there a link between the two?
To straight away make this kind of a statement would be difficult because times have changed. At that time there was no money anywhere, including with mother and children. Darshans were started because then people would come and offer money. And the 24th April darshan was started because there was a too big, whatever people offered at one darshan used to go on until the next darshan. Sri Aurobindo used to, or mother used to, manage with that money. Then February to August was too long a gap. And the money never lasted till then. So they had one more darshan in the middle, April. There was no money. There was no money in the whole of India. You leave alone. There were very rich people, that is there. But the normal people didn't have money. So to judge by that, today, even our workers have bank accounts and everything. I remember as a child, on darshan days, there used to be whole length of the ashram road full of beggars. They used to just sit there to get a little something out of what was going to mother and Sri Aurobindo. Today, the beggars are not really beggars. They have a lot of money also. They may not have, but they have money also. They don't starve. People who starve are in these remote villages. Remote villages in the country, they are starving. City people, there is no poverty in Delhi. Really no poverty.
Thank you. And I just want to clarify that I was just using this as a context, not specific, but like in Auroville, we don't have enough money and we see there's so much of, energy to
There's
build
so much
and
money
create.
in Auroville also. There is so much money, otherwise it wouldn't develop. But some departments may not have, some have more. But I can tell you one thing, that no work anywhere done for mother and Sri Aurobindo really stops because of money. How many years I have seen in the Delhi ashram, we never had money in the bank and we were never short of money. It always came on time. From somewhere or other it always comes. One has to have that faith and one has to go on doing what one is doing.
When we have been looking now at because for 1 year we have been doing a quite in-depth study of the Orwell economy to try to understand how to move it at a different level forward. This is what we are working with here also. And one thing, because Mother said we should have basic needs, like was with the prosperity in the ashram. Then after listening to you, when you were with us in August, because always when we look at the basic needs, and we start to ask people what are your basic needs, it always escalates and gets very big. So then we can't do anything about it because we can't hold that space now. So when we were listening to you and you were speaking about the fact that Mother was giving what people needed, so there was always like a minus situation.
She was like a mother.
Yes.
And if her child asked something, she gave.
Now this was what we understood, and that brought the insight that if we want to have a basic need economy, which actually is really basic, we also need to have a kind of gift economy which works the way Mother worked, that it actually looks after people's on an individual level, So you have must also in Delhi ashram have been looking after people. So how do you see that somehow both there is a basic care, which usually has to be pretty basic, and then that still the need is fulfilled in the individuals?
First of all, we didn't follow the principle that money is not required. My father was doing the prosperity system of Pondicherry. I came and changed it. Because in Pondicherry, I saw that there were these old ladies, they couldn't walk home from the dining hall to their house in hot summer at 12:30 in the afternoon. It was so hot. So they would pick up 2 bread pieces or a little papaya or a banana and take a rickshaw home and give that to the rickshawala instead of money. So these things, being an insider, I got to know a lot of what was happening. So I told my father, I said, instead of giving things which they don't need, ladies were selling the prosperity saris to get a little money for something else that they wanted. So we started giving money. And ours is a more generous thing because we are not the main ashram. Everybody who is there wants to go at least once a year to Pondicherry, so they should have enough money to be able to afford it and all that. So the prosperity is quite generous. And in the beginning it was not so generous, but now we are being flooded with goods like clothes, shoes, everything comes to us as donations. And at that time we were not even giving the medical expenses. Now medical expenses have also become totally free. So that way it is pretty easy there. But I tell you, basic needs are what? I'll tell you a story that Mother had told us. She was going on this Tour of France on cycle. She did that. And then they had a meeting with all the people who were going to discuss how you are going to on a cycle, how are you going to carry enough things. I think it took a week or something, more than a week, to go round. So everybody said, I will take this, I will take a piece of soap, I will take my toothpaste, toothbrush, so many pieces of clothes, a torch, this, that and the other. Everybody had made their lists. One fellow said, I will take only my toothbrush. And everybody was looking at him. This fellow is going to just take a toothbrush and he's going to travel for 7 days without changing clothes or anything. She said, I was quite in awe of that person. But when I came to India, I saw people plucking twigs and cleaning their teeth, so it was not even that was not necessary. So what is the basic need, really? It depends how There are, even here we tell everybody that it is not so dirty here. You don't need to wash your clothes every day because you're not really getting dirty, you don't perspire. But people have the habit, they have to wash their clothes every day. So what is basic? For them the basic need, oh, you won't even wash your clothes while changing. Every day you have to change your clothes. So you can't know. I don't think this is a problem that anybody can solve. The basic needs today, and nobody had a refrigerator in the house or anything of that kind in the olden days. But today, refrigerator is considered a basic need in every house, especially in climate like Pondicherry. So what is basic? I think we should just say basic is what you don't waste. I haven't read it, but I've gotten an email which I couldn't download, but the title said, don't throw away the toilet paper roll which comes from inside. Here are 6 uses for it, but then I couldn't read it. So everything has a use somewhere or the other. Our wastage has increased. That is what has created the biggest problems. Plastic and wastage.
Didi, did the mother tell anything about the coupon system?
In dining hall?
Yeah, in general.
I think the coupon system was there in mother's time. I am not able to remember. To get the coupon for the dining hall has been there for a very long time. At that time probably it was 1 rupee or something for the whole day. And today it is 40 rupees. But I think it was there in mother's time.
To know more about this, whom should we contact or any reference?
These are all man-made ideas. Whatever you do, they are our own ideas, and according to the place, time, situation, they should be decided. There should not be that mother has said this and so you cannot do the other thing. Mother said whatever in my notebook she has written. If you see in the growing up with the mother, there is this quotation: each thing is true in its own place and time. Don't make dogmas of what I say, because each thing has a truth at that time.
In Orwell, we find a lot of this going on also. Mother said this, mother said that, and we should follow that because it's out of time anyway.
Me to say I'm not in Orwell, so it's difficult to say.
Can I just add something to the basic needs? Because yesterday afternoon, when we did the work for the collective economy, we get a quotation from the mother regarding resources. And I remember that I read that she said about the basic needs, that basic needs is individually what one needs really for the progress towards a divine life.
Absolutely.
So basic needs, according to that, in my mind, it relates like, depends on what your work is to fulfill yourself and to grow towards a divine life. Some may need a lot of more, some may need a lot of less, depends on the work you are doing. But has to be sincerity in this, I think, and it's up to you. And this is your individual choice.
Absolutely right.
I just want to ask my last question. What is collective economy for you? How do you see the collective economy?
I don't understand economy. Really, I don't.
What about collective
I told
living?
Right in the beginning, I told Jaya that this is the wrong subject for me.
What about the collective living as we live in ashram and some other places?
Yeah, collective living, we share everything. Like somebody says today, I want to cook something because it is Durga Puja. You can't cook for yourself there. Yes, you are allowed to cook, but cook it for everybody. Somebody's offered some sweets, they go round. It's not that one person can take whatever is in our dining hall, kitchen, we share with everybody, even with our workers, you will see. They eat the same food. We don't give them leftovers. Even the sweepers, they take the same plates and eat. On the same counter they go and get their food. They are allowed to sit inside also. We don't stop them anywhere. It was not like that in Pondicherry early years because there was a difference. These people were so unclean, so unclean. But today they also understand hygiene. They are also quite clean.
I also want to ask one last thing, because we are really trying to understand these things. So when you, the prosperity that you are doing in Delhi Ashram, are you doing exactly the same for everybody, or are you kind of individualized in what are the needs of the people?
Whatever is there is a rule. It is set by the trust.
Yes.
See, the Ashramites get prosperity is for because they have dedicated their lives to the ashram. The next lot are mostly people who are there who have not joined the ashram, but they are paying and staying for whatever. And then we have these aspirants who come after vocational training 6 months. They stay and work in the ashram and upgrade themselves. They get less prosperity, but we pay for their studies. Somebody is doing a graduation, somebody is doing their post-graduation, somebody is doing their class 12, their books, their money for the studies, their tuitions, everything is borne by the ashram. So it is not that we are just handing out money to them.
No, but you have, when you have, for example, one like you have the young people who come, they are all receiving the same, and the ashramites are all receiving the same,
Yes.
or it's individualized?
No. Individual, if anybody needs help, they always ask.
Okay.
Like we had a girl, she had to be operated. All the operation costs, and it was quite high, is borne by the ashram. If they are ashramites, even if they are not ashramites, if they are aspirants or medical expenses, these things the ashram pays, but then it is individual. It's not a general rule that we will give for everybody.
And the things like you mentioned, actually, the people going to Pondi once a year, that is on a general basis, or it's individual?
No, we make the money enough for them to go.
Okay.
And some people even go with that by air. They save enough. There are people who don't save much, then they go by train. It's up to them. They get their prosperity, they can go anyhow.
I think as you were saying, you said that money is becoming, to do work, money is becoming more important.
Too important.
Across all these years. Do you also see it changing the relationship between people in some way or the other?
I think this is, I don't know. I don't know so much because I live in the ashram, so there is, we don't have so much exchange of money or discussions on money, or we have everything so fixed, and you should be able to answer this question, Jayanti.
And your question was specifically?
That as the money is becoming more important in our life, is there a change in the relationship between between individuals, do you see?
Like what Tara Didi said, in the ashram, money is not a point to discuss because we all get the same thing. We discuss other things. So money and relationship doesn't come in. Money and relationship doesn't exist together.
But in the outside world, I think it is happening. Money has become so important for everything, even for relationships.
Tara Didi, Mother and Sri Aurobindo both have in various places talked about money, like we read it. So, one place Mother has said that the asuric powers have control over the vital world and money is the force of the vital world. And she says that if you want to control the power of money, you have to, in a way, be above it and also be above the lust for power and sex both. So this is the context of my question. You said that you are not good with economics, but Like I'm from a very humble position. Whatever I've seen that a lot of people offer money automatically to you and in large amounts, and so much of work has been able to happen of all the three ashrams. In your life also, and you have seen so many old timers from the time of mother. Uh, like you, there must have been others also who also could bring in a lot of money for the ashram. Now, could you tell us a bit about how they were personally? Like, how was their consciousness that they could get the kind of resources they could for the ashram? Because that would
Mother
help
has
us
had
to.
many such people who have given money to her. But I don't know. What you're asking, I can't answer.
See, being with Tara Didi in the Delhi ashram, one has never bothered about money. But constantly, I come from a background where I was earning a lot of money first. And having come to the ashram, I do feel that it has been pointed out, not in a manner of scolding or something, but as mentoring, that could you recycle, could you reuse, how can you, for example, when we came from Delhi, I really remember in a small car one used to be sitting like this because Tara Didi would put all the stuff so that another car doesn't have to be used. And it is not that Didi is imposing this on us. We see her doing this as an example herself. So anywhere we are going, we've just had a very recent trip, and everywhere we are going, otherwise it costs us so much, transport, this, that. But somehow it is not that people offer her money, her simplicity also. Sometimes people come to pick us up at the airport. We don't look at a fancy home to go to. We go to spaces. So I think while Tara Didi speaks about that mother spoiled them, not spoiled them exactly, they were servants. But somehow I think that was love and care. This has been our personal experience. That she leads by example because she's very frugal and disciplined herself. You look at her room. Every time I admire, and a lot of us admire how there's one place, one thing. There's nothing extra. So when Tara Didi talks of waste, when she talks of using our resources, understanding our needs, I think that is what she has picked up from the mother, and that is what continuously she keeps telling all of us. So I think that in an economy of leaders who can do that by example is something that maybe she picked up from mother, and she's drilling all of us. Sometimes it's very clear that you've done this and you can't use money like this. So I think those things with abject love and sincerity and clarity is something that maybe Delhi Ashram is all about.
And can I answer the question on donations? When ashram or any institute like this takes up work in this measure, in this huge measure to reach up above the self, to do things for people, not for people, but to get to another consciousness, when people come in contact with this idea, like 10 years, 15 years ago, my husband and I, when we came into the ashram, something touched us. Just to see the kind of work which was going on, the sincerity of it, the simplicity of it, and nobody asks for donation. But when you are there, you can sense what a beautiful place, what beautiful concepts have come out of it, and for another purpose. Automatically, you just put everything there. Whatever you can, and happily. So I guess money which comes into Auroville or ashram or any other place, it comes because people want to give and be a part of it, at least in that sense. Even if not bodily, at least, yes, I've earned this much of money, let it go into this beautiful work.
And a lot of people are wanting to do that.
Exactly. This is the way in which it happens, I guess. This one small personal experience.
Because somebody said, I would like, could we close by you telling us a little bit about how mother was with material things?
How mother was?
With material things.
Oh,
We
mother
know how
was
she was
very
careful with
particular
papers.
Mother was very particular about material things. Everything she had to have a place. Everything was always put back in its place. I've spent half my life learning how to handle my key. I used to all the time, I don't know where are my keys, where are my keys. And this, I think, is a very common thing. Then I tried to think what my mother would have a place for a key. And now wherever I am, I make a place for my key. There is a place for my key, I know where to look for it. And I try to keep all my things exactly where it should be. I can't do it now as I used to do before, but then I try to have less things because I can't manage. But that is what we have to learn. And she too. Just now, we are putting up with this Sri Smriti. You know, in Pondicherry there is Sri Smriti. Most of you would have seen. If you haven't, you should go to the ashram and see it. Their mother's things so beautifully kept. And we people have so little. Mother had so much, but how beautifully she kept those things. Everything. And what she brought from Japan, today they are already 100 years old, but they are in such good shape because she kept them well. Now, every time I go, we have started Sri Smriti in Delhi. So every time I go and try to get something out of the ashram for our Sri Smriti. This time I went there and they told me, oh, we have some paper from Japan which mother had brought and it will get spoiled. So if you want, we are willing to give you some of that. They couldn't give me because the person who was in charge was not there. But that is how things are. After 100 years, the paper is still, because it is so beautiful, painted, Japanese paintings on it, envelopes, all these things. And that is how she took care of everything. And cleanliness. This is one thing that we were always taught in childhood. Cleanliness, and although we had servants to clean, but there was cleanliness all around. And there is a message, I don't remember the whole thing, not to take care of material things is a denial of the yogic consciousness or something like that.
At one place she has also, either it's in her prayers or somewhere she has also said this, that so much of effort and love and power of the divine has gone to create the material out of the inconscious, and people are not even aware of it. So like for us, things which are like just things, so much of divine effort went into creating that out of the unconscious void and all. There is a prayer like that of us.
See, when these vocational trainees were coming, they come from quite economically weaker sections of society. And in the early years, they come from such a background, but still they will waste food. So I have this story to tell them always, that you see there is a farmer, he goes, hunts for the right seeds, he plants them, he plows the land, he takes care for the whole year, then he cuts the crop, then he sends it by trucks to the market, then it is cleaned, and then it is sold, then the middlemen take it, then the retailer takes it, then we buy it, all that, and what do? Then we cook it. With so much love and affection, we cook it, and what do? Take and throw it into the dustbin. So these are things which have to be taught right in the beginning to a child at home, not to waste food, not to waste material things. There is too much of material things today. And economy wants that you throw so that the next thing can be used. That's very bad. I think that's all for today. Let's finish it here.
Just request you to end it with any poem which comes to you. It comes to you spontaneously.
It has to be the shortest.
Whatever.
We are not on the sandy river beach, but we have the same kind of trees here. Sri Aurobindo's poem, A Tree. I hope I don't make mistakes. A tree beside the sandy river beach holds up its topmost boughs like fingers towards the sky it cannot reach, earth-bound, heaven amorous. This is the fate of man, body and soul, nay, earth-bound, heaven amorous. I think I missed 2 lines. Come, recite it. Come.
Hungry for earth, it's heavenly
Body and soul hungry for earth, its heavenly flight detained. Anyhow, and I always feel that these ones, not this one, there is one which actually goes like fingers towards the sky, one of the pine varieties. Thank you.
Thank you.